All right, guys, welcome this evening to this Excel tutorial. This is a beginner's class, and I promise you that you're going to enjoy this class this hour, this time. And if you're also a professional user of Excel, there are things for you to also pick up from here. So it's both for a beginner and a professional user as well. So let me just start by sharing my screen with you so that we get into the business of the day. Right. Okay, here we are. Once again, I want to welcome you to the Excel training this hour. And this training is brought to you by Rolif Tech Academy. Rolif Tech Academy is an organization that is based on tech, and the main purpose of the organization is to teach people how to use technology. All right. So we have our website at www.rolliftech.com, and this is the interface you will see when you get to our website. The first thing you will meet when you get to our website. Then these are some of the services we rendered at Rolif Tech Academy. We do Excel masterclass. We provide data-driven solutions. We build tools to analyze data, right? And we also provide one-to-one mentorship for anybody who wants to learn data tools like Excel, Power BI, and all that. So this evening, what are we going to do? We are going to look at Excel today, and these are the things we are going to learn. And let me quickly mention that this is a recurring meeting. So apart from today's Friday, next week Friday, every Friday we'll be having a time like this where we look at Excel or any other technology tool that we can use to make our lives better. All right, so these are some of the things we'll be looking at today. We'll look at data entry in Excel, how to use basic formula and function and all that. So we'll cover some of these today, and next week we'll continue. All right. So let's go right into the business of the day. What you are looking at in front of you is the Excel interface. All right, the Excel interface. Don't be scared, because I'm going to explain everything to you, like as much as you can handle, as much as you can, take in. So from there, we'll continue. So this is the interface. When you open an Excel workbook, this is what you see, okay? You see a sheet, and then you see some menus at the top and some things you can click on to perform one task or the other. So before we go too far, let me explain to you what is Excel. Excel is a tool. It's a spreadsheet tool, okay, to organize data, to manage data, and to analyze data, and also to visualize data. So, and it is being used in different aspects, in different industries. So some of the use cases are, number one is used in research and analysis. Excel is also used in financial calculations. It is used to generate charts, dashboards, and reports. You can also use Excel for automating tasks, okay? You can also use Excel for automating tasks. So these are some of the use cases of Microsoft Excel, all right? So we're going to look at a few of these things as we move on. So now let me start by, taking you, like, let's go on a tour on the interface of Excel. So right at the top here, right at the top, you are seeing, excuse me. Yeah, thank you. So right at the top here, you are seeing this green kind of, should I say, ribbon or this green stuff here. Then at the bottom, you see words written. So each of these file, home, insert, draw, and all that. When you click on each of them in Excel, it has, each of them has a drop down kind of, so we'll call this one ribbon. So this row of text at the top, we call them menu tabs, okay? So this is file menu, home menu, insert, and so on and so forth. So then at the bottom, you will see the ribbon, okay? So the ribbon you see depends on the menu you click on. All right, the ribbon you see depends on the menu that you click on. So for example, now this ribbon you are looking at here, is the ribbon under the home tab. Okay, so when you click on the home tab, you will see this ribbon. And when you look at the ribbon is divided into different segments. So if you look at the ribbon, you see some straight gray lines, okay? So the gray lines divide the ribbon into different segments. So starting from the leftmost part, so this segment is called the clipboard, okay? And that is where you see different buttons you can click on when you are working with Excel. All right. The next one is called fonts. This is where you can do some editing of your text or of the value you have entered into Excel. Maybe you want to increase the size, that's the font size. You want to change the color. You want to make it bold. You want to underline it. You want to put a grid line around the text you have entered. This is where you do that. Then the next segment on this home tab ribbon is called alignment. So this is where you do everything regarding alignment. Maybe you want your input to be on the left-hand side of the sheet, right-hand side, or at the middle. Then you move on to the next segment, which is numbers, style, cells, and editing. Okay, so this is what you see under the home tab, the ribbon you see under the home tab. All right. Now, under the segment, under the ribbon, you will see this white space here. We call it formula bar. So when you select a cell in Excel and you are typing, what you are typing will appear here. Okay, maybe you are typing a formula or anything you are typing, it will appear here, and it will also appear in the cell as well. Okay, then you move down, you will see the workspace. So this space is called the workspace. This space as having grid lines, having a vertical and horizontal line crossing one another. So this is what we call the workspace. Okay. So at the bottom here we have the sheet tab. Okay, this is for sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So currently I'm opening sheet 3 in this picture. All right. I'm opening sheet 3. So you can open sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. So what it means is that when we talk about Excel workbook contains 2 or more sheets. Okay, 2 or more sheets. That is Excel workbook. So therefore, all of this thing you are looking at, this is Excel workbook because it has more than 2 or more than 1 sheet. Okay. Now, right below that, you have the status bar here, which tell you if Excel that you have opened is ready to accept data from you or not. Okay. So then at this other corner, the right hand side here, you see the view option and slider. So these, depending on the one you click, it will affect how this workspace looks like. Okay, if you can see, presently I'm clicking on this one that looks like grid lines. Okay, that's why you are seeing it this way. So this one is the slider. If you move it to the right, it's going to make your sheet to move closer to, like it will expand the sheet, and it will appear that the sheet moves closer to you. So if you move it to the left, okay, it's going to take the sheet further away from you. So you can use this one to adjust. So if you are not seeing what you are typing into Excel very well, you can use this one to adjust the sheet back, like zoom in, yes, like zoom out, zoom in, so that you can see what you are working on. Then right at the top here, we have the ribbon hide and unhide. So there is a little button here. When you click it, it's going to either hide this ribbon or make it to appear. So if you want more space, as in your Excel sheet, okay, so this is where you click so that this ribbon will disappear from here. So once that disappears, it will make this workspace to expand up, and so you'll be able to see lots of things. So you can also click it to make the ribbon come back. All right. So that is that about Excel interface. Now, before we move on to the next thing, let me also explain that here we have these grid lines. They are made up of rows and columns. So, which means that every, the intersection of these vertical lines and horizontal lines, we call them cells, okay? So where I am now, where my pointer is moving is called cell, all right? And the cell is where the row and the column intersect. So this is row, this one, the rows are numbered. Like this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 23 here, as I can see from my own screen. So these are columns. The columns they are labeled with letters. So we have column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, column F, all through to column X. And it continues like that, okay? Because if you move this bar to the excuse me. 1 second, please. So if you move this bar to the right-hand side, you are going to see more of the column. So what I'm saying is that the intersection of a column and a row makes up a cell. So what it means, where a column meets a row, okay, that is a cell. For example, this is column A, this is row 1. This place where both of them are meeting is called a cell. And that is how we also reference the cell. If you want to reference a cell in Excel, okay, we talk about cell addressing or cell referencing. So if you want to reference a cell, you use the column letter and the row number. So that is the address of the cell. So it's like, like normal address, that where is this person living? Number so, so, and so on this street, in this town, in this, city and all that. So the same thing, if you want to get a value in Excel or you want to impute a value, it's referenced based on the column and the cell. I mean, based on the column and the row. Okay, so this here now is cell A1. That's why you can see it here, A1. So this place, that's where you will see the cell address where you have selected, where your pointer is. Okay, so that is all for now. Now let us do some basic work in Excel, some basic data entry in Excel before we call it a day. And I want to tell you that what we are doing today is part of Rolliff Tech Academy Excel Masterclass. Okay, in this academy, like I said, this is our website, Rolliff Tech, www.rolliftech.com. So if you go to our website now, you will see the things that we do, just like I showed you here, the things that we do. So what we are looking at today is like the introductory part of this Excel masterclass. All right. So if you feel that what we are doing, you need more, like you need one-to-one mentorship, so you can go to our website and register for this Excel masterclass. All right. So before we finish today, I'm going to tell you more about the masterclass. So apart from that one, we also build data-driven solutions. Okay, we build automation systems for companies, businesses, so that they can automate their data. So from the point of data entry, to analysis, okay, data entry, the cleaning, the analysis, and making visualization of the data so that you will see what is happening in your business. You will see how you can use the data you are, collecting to make data-driven decisions, informed decision, all right? And then we also do one-to-one mentorship. Anybody who wants to learn more of, all these technology tools like Excel, Power BI, programming language, and all that. So we also offer a one-to-one mentorship. So if you need more information on all those things, just go to our website at www.rolifttech.com. That's where you will see more information about all of these things, all right? So now, let's continue. So I'm going to close this now. Close all this. I'm going to close all this now, and then open up an Excel worksheet. Okay, let me start this way. Let me close this one first, and then open. So this is how I'll open Excel worksheet. So I will just say Excel. All right, that is that. That is Excel. I will click enter. So once I press enter, my system will open Excel for me. Okay, my system will open Excel for me. So this is what you will see, first of all, when you open a new Excel workbook. So here, okay, this is what you see, like I said. Here you will see is asking you, Excel is asking you, do you want to start with a blank workbook, or you want to choose from a template? So if I click on here now, you will see different templates that we have in Excel. So beyond this is a template going beyond pie chart. This is another template and template and template and all that. So, but the thing is that before you start using templates, is best to understand how Excel works, okay, from working with the blank workbook so that you get familiar with how it works. So now let me scroll down to the bottom. So these are other templates you can use as okay. So now we are working with a blank workbook so that we can practice some of the things I just mentioned here. So I will click on it and it opens here, okay? So when it opens here, you will see all those things I was explaining the other time, okay? The menu tabs here at the top, okay? And as you are moving your pointer on there, you will see that the text, they are kind of, animating kind of. So if I put my pointer on view, you will see that the view has become bold to let me know that my pointer is there. Then, mind you, when you open Excel freshly or newly, by default, the home tab is selected, and you will see this ribbon under the home tab, all right? And remember that I told you that the ribbon you see here depends on the tab you are on. So let me click on Insert tab and see it now. So you see that the ribbon has changed. So if I click on Draw tab, you see the ribbon has changed. If I click on Formulas, you see. If I click on Data, you see that the ribbon keeps changing depending on the tab I click on. So let me go back to Home tab now. Right, we are here at the on the Home tab, and you can see the ribbon on the 8. Okay, so here is the workspace that I explained to you, and you can see that this my workbook is having only one sheet, and it's labeled sheet 1. All right, it's labeled sheet 1. Sheet 1, you can change the name to whatever name you want. Okay, where should that thing? So you can see all of these things. So these are just basic things, like I said. These are just basic things in Excel. And like I also mentioned that all these things we are doing here now, they are just the introductory parts or foundational part of our Excel masterclass, okay? And the masterclass, what is in the masterclass for you? In the masterclass, you have tutorial videos, step-by-step tutorial video that will go into details of all of these things I'm just kind of paraphrasing now. So the tutorial videos will go into detail to explain all these things to you and how you can use them. That's one. Number two, The masterclass also has a workbook or a manual, exam manual that we prepared at Rolling Tech Academy. Okay, we prepared the manual basically for people who want to learn Excel. So the manual is also is in a form of step-by-step procedure. Even if you have not done Excel before, just handling the manual alone, you are good to go. So you use the manual with the video, okay? And apart from that one, you are going to get Excel cheat sheets. And the cheat sheet, what we have there are different formulas and functions that you don't need to memorize. They are just there. So anyone you need, you want to do something, just go there, you see it there. Then another thing you get from the master class, after the master class, you get your certificate, okay? So the certificate comes with the master class. So we have trained a number of people, all right? We have trained a number of people and we have issued them certificates to show that they have really taken our Excel training, all right? So if you want to, take the master class, just go into our website. You will see all the information there. You see all the information there, all right? Now, here we are. We want to just practice some basic data entry. Remember I told you that where the columns, this is a column here, this is a column, this another one, this another one. So the columns are labeled with letters, And if I move this bar to the right, or click on you will see that the letters continue. Okay. So the columns are labeled with letters, but the rows, they are numbered. Okay. So we have row 1, row 2, row 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So it continues into thousands, I think to 50,000 of rows. Okay. Now, where this column and where a column and a row intersect, okay, we call that place a cell. Now, let me highlight this row now. Let me just fill it with this color just to explain what I mean. So I've highlighted and colored column B. Okay, let me do the same thing for row 3. So if you click on the number, okay, if you hover on the number, you see that an arrow will appear pointing to the right, all right? So if you click on that number, it will highlight the row. Now, let me color the row, okay? So this place where this column and this row intersect, this is where we call a cell. And the cell is addressed by the column letter and the row number. The cell is addressed by the column letter and the row number. All right. So that is why you are seeing in this address of the cell, we call this place the name box. In this address of the cell, you are seeing B3 because that is where my selector is. So this rectangular stuff is used to show you where you are in the Excel workspace. All right, it's used to show you where you are. So I'm here now. That is why I'm seeing this cell address. So I'm on B3. Okay, so if I go to display, for example, it will show me E3 because I'm on column E, row 3. I'm on column E, row 3. All right, so let me just undo all of that by pressing Ctrl Z to undo all of that. So now to enter data into Excel, okay, to enter data into Excel, just select a cell. All right, when you select a cell, then just type whatever you want. So for example, I'm on cell C2. So I want to enter some data here. So let me just type, let's say I want to enter, okay, the names of some students and their score in mathematics. Let's say we have 5 students in that class and I want to enter their score. So first of all, I'll put the column heading, that is name, okay? So the first person, let me say the first person is Tayo. So, okay, so I'll go down by pressing down arrow button. The next person is Jide. Then press down again. The next person is, let's say, Deji. Press down again. The next guy is John. So let's get a girl to be in their midst. So let's say her name is Mary. All right. So this is it. So now I've moved to cell D1. So let me enter the subject, math. So what the tile score in mathematics? Let's give him, let's say 56. All right, 56 over 70. What about Deji? Let's say Deji score 59. I mean, Jide, right? Jide. Then go to Deji. Let's say Deji scored, let's say 44, and so on and so forth. So that's how you do basic data entry in Excel. Okay, that's how you do basic data entry in Excel. Now, we have entered our data. We have entered our data here now. So what else can we do? There are a lot of things we can do with this data. Okay, so the first thing is that, let's say I want to make this heading to be bold. What I'll do is I will select the first one and press my shift key down and just press right arrow button to select the two. Okay, now I want to make name and math bold. So once I've done that, I'll come to this my font segment and click on B. So B is to make these two guys, make them bold, and that's it. We have done that. So that is that. Then another thing I can do here is that let's say I want to put a border around this my data. So there's something we call border in Excel. So the first thing is I will select anywhere in my data and press Ctrl A to select everything. Ctrl A means select all, select everything. Then I'll come to this my border button and click down this drop down. So you see a lot of borders here that you can select from. So let me just select all borders. So you can see we have put borders around our data. All right. So these are some of basic things you can do in Excel. And like I said, if you want to go deeper and go deeper, just sign into our master class. You go deeper, into all of these things. Now, after you have entered your data into Excel, so that you don't lose your work when you close Excel or when you shut down your system or when your system goes off, what do? You save. Okay, you save. So how do you save? You go to File, click on it, File type. So you can see here option for saving. You see info, save, then save as. So what we need actually is save. Okay, let me click on save. So Excel is asking me, where do I want to save it? So let me say I want to save it in this downloads. I'll click on download. So it's now asking me what name do I want to give my workbook. Let me just say basic. Let me call it math score. Math score. All right. Math score. I can put a space in between the name, math score, and click on save. So that's it. And if you check at the top here, when we started at the top here, we were seeing Excel 1 or something like that. So here now we are seeing math score because that is the name of our sheet. And every other thing you do here, just make sure you are always saving. And the shortcut to save is just press Ctrl S on if you are using a Windows system, okay? But if you are using a Mac system, I think it's Command S. But on a Windows system is Ctrl S. Ctrl S. So if you do Ctrl S, so your data will be saved. So that is that for basic data entry into Excel. Now, before we draw the curtain on our tutorial today, and don't forget I said that this tutorial will be happening every Friday. Okay, every Friday at this time, we'll come together to learn something new in Excel. And I said that this free tutorial, Excel tutorial is being brought to you by Rolif Tech Academy. Rolif Tech Academy. So let's move on. Let's move on. The next thing we want to do now, let me just, so we have already saved our data. All right, we have already saved our data, and if I close this one now, if I close it, we can use this name to find this our Excel file. We can use this name to find this our Excel file. All right. So there you have it. There you have it. So don't forget, there are so many things you can do with Excel. All right, so many things you can do with Excel. And when you know how to use Excel, then you have opened doors for yourself, doors of more opportunities, because there are companies that are looking for people who knows how to use Excel. And that is why we are here at Rolly Tech Academy to train people how to use these technological tools, to achieve more with their work, to achieve more with what they do. All right. So before we move on, I want to ask if anybody has a question. Any question, please? Any question? Okay, in the absence of any question, so this is all we'll have today. The next week, like I said, we'll come together again for this Excel tutorial. So thank you very much for coming. It was a really wonderful time to share all this with you. So, bye-bye.